great to have her back in the mix. We have not seen her in action since May of 2022. It has been that long. We're talking like a year and a half or so, but on September 2nd in beautiful Paris, France, site of the 2024 Olympic Games, she is coming back at 125 pounds. She's the great Thug Rose Namajunas joining us on the program. Hello, Rose. How are you?
Hello, how are you doing? I'm good.
I'm doing great. I'm doing great as well. Thank you so much for joining us. It has been a while, Rose. Wow, it has been so long. Where have you been?
Yeah.
Just hanging out, hiding out. Where have you been?
Shoot. Yeah, I've been at home. I no, I've been getting just taking care of some, personal life. It doesn't really feel like a year and a half has gone by. It's crazy how fast time goes by. But yeah, I bought a house and I had done a lot of work on it. I spent amount of the year and getting my grandmother situated here in the States again. She just got her green card, so it's like super amazing. And then I built a gym, in my garage and just been
Wow.
training.
Did you
And
build
then
the
also
gym
I put together,
yourself?
what's that?
Did you build the gym yourself?
I mean, I have people helping me.
Okay,
I,
all right.
I pay to do it, but I mean, I mainly like, we did a lot of work on the house, in the backyard with the garden and stuff. So now I don't have to run to the community garden anymore, and I have it right in my backyard. And so that's the other, thing that I've been spending my time on as well.
Okay. Obviously, the
Mhm.
last time we saw you was that frustrating fight against Carla, and then we spoke shortly after. And the impression, correct me if I'm wrong, the impression that I got from you was like you're just leaving the door open, but you didn't put a time to like you weren't really thinking you wanted to take some time off. And so I'm just wondering, at any point in all of this, did you think maybe that was it for you? Like you did the thing, you won the belts, you're all good. Did you ever feel that way at any point during this, 14 or 15-month time away from the cage?
Mhm. I don't know. You froze right now. Can you still hear me?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes, I still hear you. You
Yeah,
you
can you
got a
still hear
little
me?
frozen
Okay.
on. Did you hear my
Yeah. No,
question?
I definitely. Yeah, I heard your question, and I said that. Yeah, I definitely thought I was done for like a good amount of time. Yeah. Um. Yeah, I was just kind of like. I mean, there's definitely a number of things, but like the way that I felt, like going into the locker room, I just didn't feel aggressive, and I felt like I don't really want to hurt anybody. And so I was just like, yeah, I guess I'm done. I mean, there was definitely a bunch of other like factors that went into it, and but I mean, it's obviously not the first time that I've questioned whether I should keep doing this or not, but yeah, but I had already like achieved, becoming a champion, defending a champion belt, and then losing it, and then even at that point when I lost it, and when I was on my way to like when I decided to rematch Andrade, and I wanted her because I wanted to fix that mistake. To me, that I never thought in my mind like I'm gonna make it to the belt again, and I just like that was like the last thing on my mind. But as a martial artist, I needed to have that one fight, and then it just kind of was like, well, I guess we might as well keep going. And then
Mm.
I ended up becoming the champ again, and that had so much meaning to it. Um, but yeah, at this point, after Carla, it was kind of like, well, I forgot exactly like all the factors. I know there was more than just like the feeling of like not really wanting to like, you know, partake in violence. It was, I think, yeah, it was just like kind of a spiritual thing. I just kind of questioned whether or not like God wanted me to keep going, and like maybe this isn't really, part of a godly life. But I kind of came back around to like, no, this is definitely what God has called me to do. And in a very like he kind of has all different like special gifts for everybody, and like some people are warriors and some people are preachers, you know what I mean? So that's obviously like I've been gifted with the warrior like spirit and just something special. And so I know that I know I don't have like a ton of time left, but I know that I know he's not finished with me yet in this chapter. And this is kind of like I've had like all these different goals of like you know, just financial goals and personal goals and like becoming a champ, all that stuff. And then one of the last goals on my list was like maybe I could become two division champ, you know, and obviously that has a lot of question marks around it, but that's kind of like where we're at right now, you know.
Mm. And I want to ask you about that move in a
Yeah.
moment, but just curious, when you were
Yeah.
thinking like I might be done, were you at peace with that decision during that period? Were you okay with your last fight being the one in which you lost to Carla and that being the end? Like, did you feel in your heart like I'm good, I don't want to do this anymore?
Yeah, of course, like, you know, as a musician, when you end on not like going back to the home key, like that just kind of feels weird, right? Like you can't end a song like that. So of course, like, you know, just having an uncharacteristic fight, like I'm always been an aggressive fighter. I've always been an exciting fighter. I've never really had a boring fight, even fights that I've lost. So for me to have a performance like that, I to me, you know, interview anterior. Yeah. No, sure. Okay. But yeah, so I forgot what I was saying. Yeah. Interview anterior. But yeah, so yeah, like, but I was also at peace with it because to me, if God doesn't want me to fight, like that's how I felt for a second. Like if this is wrong or like not a good thing to do as a person or just whatever, like I don't want to take part in it, you know, like regardless of, you know, what the world thinks or what I want to do or anything like that. Like I just want to do what he wants me to do. And at that moment I was kind of questioning that. So yeah.
Mm.
Especially because like and it's not so much the act of fighting itself, but just like sometimes like and I guess that's part of it, like the entertainment side of it where people literally just pay money to watch violence. You know, to me that kind of bothered me. To me it's more of like an educational thing. It's an art. And so and it's like all of those things combined. But I know that there's a good portion of the population that literally watches only to see blood and violence, you know. So that kind of weighs on me sometimes, you know.
When did you start to feel that you wanted to come back, and why did you start to feel that way?
I think it was kind of a like a gradual progression. Um, I think as my personal life and things kind of got more settled and like I started to create this fortress around me and like once that started to get kind of settled in and then like you know I always knew like I'm always training, like regardless of if I'm gonna compete or not. I'm always gonna be ready, like I'm a ninja, like you know what I mean. So to me, it's and it's always fun to train, and it always really helps me. So that was always there. But then I think what kind of like uh, I don't know, because I think it was two different things going on at the same time in my mind. Like there was a part of me that was like done, but there was another part of me that was like I still feel like I have like another mountain to climb, you know, and that was just it just kind of like surface stuff and it just kind of gradually reared its head as soon as kind of things simmered down for me and I started to work through a lot of things and grow like spiritually and everything like that and then I decided to I still wanted to compete, you know, and so I started thinking about like jujitsu a lot because in my mind, like as much as like I started in taekwondo and I did karate and then I did all kinds of different martial arts, like to me, jujitsu has always been like the most like has become one of my favorite martial arts. And that's something that I like thought about like just longevity wise. Like I feel like post fighting, like that's always something that like I don't think in my older age am I gonna be able to like do 10 rounds of sparring all the time. I mean, maybe, but like, but and not as much as you can do jujitsu and roll. And I feel like that's like, it's the gentle martial art. Right. And so to me, that's kind of where it started for me. Was I started really falling in love with jujitsu again. And I did a 80cc competition. And actually, I was thinking about doing a little bit more competitions. Like I was thinking about, Eddie, I talked to Eddie Bravo for a second about doing combat jujitsu, but then as soon as I got like a little taste of competition, I was like, yeah, I just want to fight. Because it's like, you know, yeah, there's nothing more like exhilarating than that. So that was kind of like, yeah. So
And
here I
and
am.
so when you decided that you wanted to fight and come back, was it always 125 or was there something that happened that
Yeah,
made you decide
I
I'm going to
mean,
move up?
yeah, like definitely after the Carla fight, like I think that was win or lose. I was thinking about doing that anyways, because of, well, one, I just, my body's changing. I started to mature. I've always, like early on in my career, I never really like cut that much weight, and up until like the last few years. I think maybe like when I fought Michelle Watterson, that was when I actually started to like really start to put on size. And then like each fight, it's just been a little bit more and more. And even though I got better at cutting, I also felt like, man, this can't be healthy. You know what I mean? Like, as much as like I got physically better at it, like, or mentally better at it, I think physically it does kind of, I don't know. I feel like I have, I'm way stronger now. And then I also, yeah, I put on, and then I also made a little bit of effort to put on a little more size, like to actually intentionally get a little bigger and do a little more lifting and stuff and eating. Um, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying. I don't know.
No, I was just asking about the
But yeah.
decision to go to 125 and you said win or lose after the
Oh
Carla
yeah,
fight. You considered
yeah.
it.
Because like what, like Whaley's the champ now. So then what? So I fight her a third time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm.
I don't know. It's just not very interesting. I've already fought, you know, Andrade and this and that, and I mean, and now she's gone back down. She went up to 125, but whatever. And then, um, yeah, Whaley's the champ. So it's like, okay, so then I could just beat her again. But I don't know. To me, it's like more than that. Like I want something that kind of scares me. That, you know what I'm saying? That like is that's gonna, like, yeah, that scares me, and like I want to face my fears and stuff. And then it's also just always been a part of the plan. And then it's like, yeah, I could keep doing the same old thing, but man, like as soon as it gets kind of redundant, like once this game gets redundant, and yeah, I can get bored really quick, and that's not good for nobody. So so I need to keep it fresh and interesting.
And so
Yeah.
we're about a little over a month away from the fight. Like, how much weight do you think you'll have to cut? Because I think it was Pat. I don't think it was you. I think it was
Mhm.
Pat who posted a picture of you, and like you could see you are a lot more muscular than you were the last time we saw you. So,
Yeah.
how much weight do you think you're going to have to cut when it comes to fight week?
Yeah. Um, so like like completely dry and like no food in me. I've been waking up at like 1:35, you know.
Okay.
So and then as we get closer, I might, drop a couple, whatever, but I'm hoping to keep that on. And as the nerves kind of set in, sometimes it's like I do start to lose my appetite a little bit. But to me, it's yeah, I've it's never been about size to me. I feel like, God is my strength too. So it's like, like people always think like, I feel like people are always surprised at how strong I am. And yeah, and I feel like there's more to it than size that makes strength. But yeah, I mean, that's kind of where I'm at right now. And I think as and given that I feel how I want to feel, like as long as I don't have that feeling again of like that weird, you know, like kind of pacifist kind of a feeling that I had for a moment there. As long as I don't have that, and I want to keep fighting. As long as I have that feeling of like, yeah, this is fun, and I want to keep going. I can see like just over time being able to naturally just put on more size also. But I also don't want to like force it. I want to make sure that I'm like just feeling good, you know. And yeah.
Are
So
you
yeah, I
worried that
probably float around from like anywhere from 135 to like 138, you know.
okay. Any
Yeah.
thought in the back of your mind, like, are you worried that as you put it, that pacifist feeling will creep up on fight week or fight day? How do you combat that?
Yeah, of course. I don't combat it. I just let like what I'm just gonna be as genuine as possible. You know what I mean? Like whatever will be, you know, and to me it's like I can't fight against God's will. You know what I mean? If that's what his will is for my life, that's what it is. And but I know that I am a warrior, like and I definitely, man, the energy that I've, other than just like today, it's crazy because usually more of my training camps, I'm way more of like a head case. And like just have like, you know, cry days and stuff. And today was probably my first day of like, what the heck, you know, like what's going on. But it was crazy because like as soon as like I fight, like signed this fight, even before then, and like, you know, I've been feeling like just I don't know, like something special, like a very special energy, like I would say like the Holy Spirit, but just um like like a feeling of like freedom and like just not really, because I had accomplished like I think before as I was fighting, it's like I need to like achieve like realize my destiny is to become a champ and stuff. And as much as like, but I already know I'm a champ, so it's like now I can just be free to like fight how I want to fight, like prepare how I want to prepare, and like just have fun. So when Pat was cornering Alonzo for his last fight, and I think it was in Vegas or something for International Fight Week, he
Hmm.
said that Robbie Lawler was like backstage, and you know he saw him in the locker room. It was like it was cool to like just witness like dude just, you know, he has like just that feeling of like just this is fun, like fighting is fun, like it shouldn't be this whole like, and because it was his last fight, right, like he just, I think there's no pressure, um but yeah, like he was just kind of describing how like there was no sense of like I guess it was just good feelings, you know.
Yeah,
And so
pressure or
so I
anything
kind
like
of like
that.
inspired by that, because it's just like, yeah, man, we make such big deals over like little things, you know, and really at the end of the day it's like all of this is just a grain of sand, you know, in the grand scheme of things. Like, you know, my story is like, as much as it can be like hugely inspiring to so many people and have this ripple effect, but, you know, all these ups and downs, it's also just like a grain of sand,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
And
And it's also
made
just a fight, you know?
major props to you. Like, you're not just entering a new weight class and fighting supremely lower ranked fighter. You're fighting one of the top 125ers, Manon Fiorot, in her
Yeah.
home country of Paris.
Okay.
And I
Wow.
was a little bit surprised by that, just because I know you don't love traveling too far away and things like that. So how do we end up on the Paris card against one of the best flyweights in the world?
I don't know. I just like, as soon as I had gotten a lot of fight offers over the past you know, over the course of since being taking time off. And that was the first time where I was like, that sounds interesting. You
Mm,
know, and for some reason, well, I thought about Paris. mm, as much as I don't like traveling, I mean, I also don't like a lot of things that I also like equally. You know what I mean? And of course, I love traveling. Like, I mean, there's so much to learn, there's so much to see, and it just, you know, that's just kind of like the like lazy Rose doesn't want to travel, you know, or comfortable Rose doesn't want to travel. But I know like all these things help me grow, and they expand my horizons. I mean, like I had one of the best experiences going to Abu Dhabi. Like as much as I feared doing that, and I was like during like nobody knew what was happening during COVID and all that stuff. It was like the most rewarding experience ever. And like even though I smashed my nose, it was like also one of the best things that happened ever. So it's like, as much as I don't like these things, sometimes like I know this is medicine for me. This is good for me. Like, and going to Paris. also I was thinking about Paris and like one, I've never been there, so that's kind of cool. But then two, there's little I mean it just seems like it's gonna be pretty exciting because like Lithuania is not that far away from there. I have a lot of Lithuanian fans in London and just that part of the world. Yeah, I'm a I don't know. I think that part of the world's really cool. And um but yeah, I mean, to me, it also doesn't really matter either. Like, like it could be in Vegas, it could be here. I've fought everywhere, so it's just, um, it'd be ideal if I could fly to Paris in 1 hour. You know what I mean? So there's stuff
Yeah.
that I don't like that comes with it, but overall, I just think, yeah, Manon. I think her just as an opponent is exciting too. She's a true martial artist. Like she's not just like a fighter or like an athlete. Like I mean, she's all of those things. But as I remember watching her, like as soon as she came off, I think the Contender Series or whatever, I was like, oh, she's pretty badass. Like and like she has some real striking skills, and I like girls that can strike. I mean, I like girls that also are just overall MMA, well rounded, which she is, but definitely like yeah, her karate background and her style and just everything, and even her little attitude, and you know what I mean, just like her little whole swagger, like that's something that brings out the competitor in me, and I love that.
Sometimes historically in fighting, when someone considers retirement and then comes back, but then like after that fight, they say, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have come back. Like when you have the 1 foot in, 1 foot out. I remember Rashad Evans talking about this back in the day.
Yeah.
It leads to a different kind of fighter out there. Are you confident saying like you're all the way back? Do you still have some doubts in the back of your mind about the sport? About like
No,
this seems
I'm
like an
definitely
internal.
all the way back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna fight. um, Whether or not, like unless if I just wait, like I said, like so the 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like I mean that to me, like that's been my whole life. You want to call me mentally unstable for a reason. So to me it's like, but I own that and I'm not afraid to. I think it's a lot of people are afraid of being vulnerable and like talking about how they really feel, and I feel like once they say it out loud and all of a sudden they can't, then it's real and then they can't do anything about it. It's like no, once I say something how I actually feel, that's the first step of doing something about it. And so for me it's like I've been 1 foot in, 1 foot out since for many years now, for
Okay.
many
All
fights.
right.
And so, yeah, and so it's just kind of like one of those things. But this is a very complicated sport and thing that we do, and it's almost like a drug too. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of, it's wonderful.
Do you think when you're done
Yeah.
fighting, you'll be one of those people who doesn't go to fights ever, who doesn't want to be around MMA? Like, do you think when you're done, you'll really be done?
Probably. There's definitely like a lot of me that because I barely go to fights now. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
maybe when I'm done, I'll actually enjoy it a little bit more as a fan. Um,
Oh, that's true.
but yeah, but I don't know. I think, but I also could be like just straight up in my garden and being a farmer and just being too busy for that. You know what I mean? Like, but I also feel like I'm always gonna have some sort of involvement with martial arts, whether that be training other fighters to fight, or whether that I really just enjoy. I really feel like just like the regular person learning martial arts, like what it does for just regular people is super important, and just for society in general. So to me, that's like probably going to be my main focus when I'm done. But yeah, I'll always be training, and then yeah, if I catch the fights, I catch the fights. Sometimes like the MMA scene gets a little, silly, and then sometimes it's like really exciting, and so it just kind of depends. But yeah, I think I'll probably I don't know. Yeah.
We don't have to worry about that now. The good news is you are back
Yeah.
September 2nd, Paris, Manon Fiorot, new weight class, new you. I thought maybe,
Mhm.
we would change maybe you'd come with like cornrows or something, but it's a new and improved version of
Yeah,
Thug
yeah, we
Rose,
don't gotta
and
change
it's
everything.
yeah, we don't have to change everything. New house, new gym, new home gym, a lot of new things. That is tremendous. I'm very
Yeah,
happy for you. Welcome back, Rose. Great to have you back, and good luck in this final month of training. And can't wait to see you back in there on September 2nd.
awesome. Thank you so much.
All right, talk to you soon. There she is, the one and
All
only
right.
Thug Rose on the program. Always great to have her on.